Nova, this proves Mueller and his investigation a fraud from the beginning by Rick Wells for rickwells.us. Joe Digenova says the Mueller investigation and Mueller himself are frauds and have been since the beginning. Mueller's friend Comey withheld info from Congress. A D.C. U.S. attorney is supposed to make the decision as to whether or not to prosecute McCabe. What should be an easy decision to make? If the deep state hijacks this process in order to protect Hussein Obama, which could easily happen, it could trigger some very nasty responses by the American people. One might think this is a job for the Attorney General, since it has nothing to do with collusion and everything to do with lying to the FBI. But we don't have an Attorney General. RAG is an absent guy who they wind up once in a while to stumble his way through speeches. Tucker Carlson responds to the information from Russian attorney Natalia Veselnitskaya, who the left was besides themselves over when they thought they could make some hay over her Trump Tower meeting with Don Jr., has never been interviewed by Mueller and his merry band of witch hunters. Carlson asked Joe Digenova, if that's true, what does that tell us? Digenova replies, it tells us basically that this investigation by Mueller from the beginning has been a fraud. Let's take a listen to the clip here where we could see.
Millions and millions of dollars have been spent, taxpayer dollars. Our attention has been focused not on actual matters of state or significance, but on the collusion story that apparently swung the 2016 election. Now we find out that the singular person at the center of that, this Russian lawyer, Veselnitskaya, has never been interviewed, she says, by the independent counsel. How can that be, and what does it tell us about the nature of this investigation? Joe Digenova has been watching carefully. He's a former U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, and he joins us tonight. So I just want to say, I don't have any esoteric information, I don't really know, but she says she's not been interviewed. If that's true, what does that tell us?
It tells us basically that this investigation by Mueller from the beginning has been a fraud. It had nothing to do with collusion by the Russians, and they knew that from the very beginning. Mr. Comey knew that from the very beginning because he knew that there was no basis for any of the FISA warrants, that there were no foreign agents of the Russian government involved in the case from the beginning, and that's why he refused to brief the Gang of Eight on Capitol Hill about the existence of the Russian probe in the dossier for months and months, because he knew if he briefed them, he would have to answer specific questions about the basis for the investigation, and no basis existed.
Just as a procedural matter, I think it's meaningful. Can the FBI director say no to Congress when they say, come tell us about something that we're supposed to be overseeing? Can he just say no?
Well, he kept it from them. They didn't know that the Russian probe, the counterintelligence probe, existed. He kept it from them. Now, if they had asked him, he clearly would have lied about it, because he's lied about it ever since the opportunity arose. He unfortunately was confronted by the existence of the investigation and the failure to disclose it by a congresswoman during the initial investigations into this, when the whole thing blew up.
It's unbelievable. So I would think that both parties, and Democrats think they're going to take control of the government at some point, and they may. They have an interest in having an FBI that they can trust, that we can all trust. So why is nobody on the left calling for charges to be filed against the former deputy director of the FBI, who, according to the IG, lied? Isn't that perjury? Wouldn't that warrant a prosecution?
Well, there's no doubt that McCabe should be prosecuted. Whether or not he will be remains to be seen. I tend to think that it's almost impossible not to. Now that they've charged Michael Flynn with lying,
right,
and George Papadopoulos and all these little people who've done absolutely nothing wrong, there's no way you can't charge Andrew McCabe. Remember, he's a senior government official, senior law enforcement official, lied under oath 3 times, according to the Inspector General. No way he can't be charged with lying.
And just, we can be certain when the IG of the FBI issues its report, that we can trust that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that Mr. Horowitz has done a credible job. There's no reason to doubt him. In addition, the internal watchdogs of the FBI themselves, their own Office of Professional Responsibility, their ethics watchdogs, said that he lied to them.
So if you have a senior law enforcement official who lied under oath repeatedly about a criminal matter, why would he be defended by liberals? Where are the civil libertarians on the left?
Because the liberals aren't liberals anymore. They're progressives. And remember, it was the progressives who created all the horrible movements in the 1920s and 30s. And those people no longer think. They are reacting. They're against this president. They hate him. There are no principles anymore for them. They believe that everything should be sacrificed for the thrill of having power and doing whatever you want to do to shove down the American people's throat. They have abandoned all pretense of believing in free speech, in believing in accountability, and believe it or not, they have become proponents of the FBI being an organization that lies to the American people.
They've sent hundreds of thousands of dollars to a senior law enforcement official who was fired for lying under oath, and the left is supporting it.
They are absolutely supporting it because they hate this president so much that they are willing to sacrifice the Constitution and any core beliefs that you have as a real liberal.
It's unbelievable. It's really distorting a lot of people. Joe Digenova, thank you for that perspective.
Thank you.
So what does it tell us? That they have a mental disorder. That's basically bottom line what it is. They have the mental disorder. They're willing to give up everything in order to get their way. They don't mind that they're being lied to or anything. You can't explain it any other way. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.